Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here because I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but I'm watching Clownfish TV. I'm watching WDW Pro, Walt Disney World Pro, and what they're talking about and everything when it comes to Rachel Zelger. Easy for me to say, but basically Rachel Zelger, who's basically going to portray Snow White in the live-action remake. And basically, what they've all been saying, and Clownfish put out a new video, is that Disney is pretty much very subtly letting Rachel know, yeah, we're tired of your BS. We're tired of your slandering. We're tired of your um, critical nature and everything. Basically, they're letting her know, hey, we didn't hire you as to be Snow White, and then eventually go out and promote the film and everything, just to crap all over it and make us look bad. That is basically what is going on here. And honestly, you know, from what I'm hearing, from from watching and listening to what Clownfish is saying, and what WDW Pro and his crew is saying, I don't think honestly you could blame Disney, whatsoever. It's very similar to, well, it's very similar, I should say, to what WB had to go through with Ezra Miller, during the Flash situation. It's very similar. I wouldn't say as similar, but very similar in tone, to where basically they, WB had to basically be like, yeah, we got to keep our eyes and our eyes on on Ezra. We gotta, keep him. We gotta keep a leash on him. We gotta make sure he doesn't say or do anything. Sorry, my finger at the camera there. We gotta make sure he doesn't say and do anything that might make us look bad, make the movie look bad, and everything. Well, Disney's pretty much in the same boat right now with Rachel. And honestly, if you are Disney and everything, and you want this remake to do decently at the box office, I think honestly you can't blame them. I don't think you can blame them, whatsoever for basically doing what they're doing, because in a way what they're doing is they're teaching Rachel a major lesson. And that major lesson, is essentially keep your mouth shut and don't slander something. We hired you in confidence, for knowing that you're going to probably be the best choice. I mean, they were already getting slandered for the fact that she's Latina, and basically she's getting hired for a role that the name of the character, and the way the character was presented originally, is totally opposite of the race that Rachel is. Now, look, I'm half Latino myself, so I get where some people may be like, well, it's not the race and anything, that shouldn't be a problem and all that, and it isn't, because sometimes you can race swap and even gender swap characters, and it works. It's just that you got to make sure whoever you're race swapping or gender swapping them with as an actor or an actress, that they realize, hey, you can't go out and pretty much piss all over the film, or piss over the legacy of the film or the character you're representing and stuff like that. You can't do negative comments and so on, or do things that are going to make you look bad, and by extension make us look bad. You know, there's one thing, like I said, to gender swap and race swap somebody, as long as they not only represent who the character is and all that, but also represent, a positive side of things for the studio and for the movie the studio is going to be distributed by. Rachel, unfortunately, is not doing that. She's not doing that, and it's causing Disney to basically backtrack. Now, I'm sure if you look at it from a political standpoint, or some people look at it from a political standpoint, they could be like, well, this is probably happening because Trump's in office and his crew's running things now, and he's got representatives in Hollywood, so obviously we don't want to ruffle his, they don't want to ruffle his feathers, so that's why they're backtracking. you know. And if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. If you want to believe, that to be true, that's fine. Go ahead and, believe it all you want, because there might be truth to it. If Trump wasn't in office, then yeah, there's no doubt that maybe, Disney wouldn't be doing this, but here's the thing. Biden was Biden was in office when The Flash came out, right? He was in office when The Flash came out. So, did that stop WB from, censoring him or trying to get a hold of him, try to keep him in his place after all the crap he was putting himself through, and then by extension, you know, did that stop WB from doing that? No, it didn't. They got on Edward. They got on him. They talked to him and everything. They put him on a leash, in a sense, to try to save some, um, some decency when it came to, or some, positiveness and decency when it came to their film, you know. And we can't say whether or not, if Trump was in office and Harris was, that Disney still wouldn't want to put a leash, if you will, put a leash, put a put a gag over her mouth to keep her quiet, or keep eyes on her, and close tabs on her to keep her quiet. We can't say that. We can't really say that, whatsoever. Because look, Snow White, this remake, is based on the first animated feature Disney ever did. And that was a big hit. It turned the fortunes of Disney around at that time from almost being a non-existent entity. If it wasn't for Snow White as a movie, even though they had success with Mickey Mouse, the Walt Disney that we know now probably wouldn't be around. If you catch my drift. So we can't say whether or not politically, if it was somebody else in the White House, that Disney wouldn't do this, because they probably would. Because like I said, I do apologize for the train in the background. But like I said, WB did that with Ezra Miller, and I think Biden was, just gotten into the White House, right? And they wanted to save some face. They wanted to save, whatever, dignity they had left for the, positive and dignity they had left for the film, right? You kind of see what I'm saying? Kind of get what I'm saying? The point I'm getting at is you can't blame Disney or any studio out there. You can't blame, Disney. You can't blame WB. You can't blame Universal, Paramount, or Lionsgate, or Fox Searchlight, or anybody else. You can't blame them for wanting to basically, put an ixnay on these actors and actresses, or directors and producers or writers, that come out and pretty much make the movie you're having them be part of, either on screen or from a production or directorial or script writing perspective. You can't blame them for wanting to keep tabs on these people to make sure they don't screw things up. And Rachel, pretty much, unfortunately, and she's a good actor and singer, unfortunately, is screwing things up. She's screwing things up. Now look, I get that she has her beliefs. There is no doubt she has her beliefs. And everybody has a right to that. But when it comes to wanting to ensure that the movie you're a part of, the movie you're directing, the movie you're producing, the movie you've written for, you want to make sure that it's going to get a lot of success, heading its way. You want to make sure of that. And the best way to do that is to basically keep your personal opinions and all that, to yourself, your personal beliefs and all that to yourself. Don't come out and basically piss and crap on the original material that you're basically paying homage to, your remake, or you're doing the remake for. Don't go and piss on that and say, oh, this is not like that anymore, and this is more about this and that. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And now, because of this, as I was saying earlier, Disney's pretty much subtly getting back at her. They played the Someday My Prince Would Come when her and Gal Gadot came out and, did the presentation. I think what was it, for best adapted screenplay or something? You know, and obviously the body language there between the two pretty much told the story in the eyes of a lot of folks. And now they're canceling one of their premieres across the seas in the United Kingdom, in London, I think, because of the fact that Disney doesn't want to deal with any potential woke situation or anti-woke situation that could ruin that premiere. And also, they don't want Rachel to be on that red carpet, you know, doing it and pretty much spewing out crap that can get her and by extension the company in trouble and make the film look bad, even worse than what it's projected to be. So yeah, you know, you can't blame Disney or any studio for doing that to someone that basically is the lead that's in the leading role of the film that you're doing. That's either adapted from something like with Ezra, it was The Flash, or a remake of something good. In this case, you know, Snow White with Rachel as Snow White. You can't blame them. You can't blame them for wanting to basically keep tabs and pretty much put a leash on her and say enough, enough, you know. And again, it's just one of those situations to where you should just be happy you got an opportunity, you know, to be part of a movie, especially in the lead role, you know. But it doesn't mean it gives you the right to come out and pretty much crap on the movies, or crap on the movie original, or you know, its original place of origin. It doesn't give you the right to do that, nor does it give you the right to pretty much say, yeah, this is not the movie. Oh, this is not that kind of movie now. This is different and everything. And you can't. The thing is, the more you say something that makes the movie and by extension the studio look bad, the more it makes you look bad, and the more it's going to cost you opportunities in a place like Hollywood. So I don't blame. So honestly, in closing, I don't blame Disney. I don't blame any studio that has to do this with their actors or actresses or producers or directors or writers that are part of it. I don't blame them, because if you want the movie, the project you're working on to be a success, then you have no choice but to do everything in your power to ensure you get that success, you get that positive outcome one way or another. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on this whole situation. Comment down below, like the video, and until next time, I am out.